The idea of love is truly great. Why meet Natalie and her new boyfriend, Nate? She just started college. He is in a band. One night at his concert, eyes, lips, and hips locked. Isn't love grand? Nate had had many girlfriends before, but claimed Natalie was different. The rest were such a bore. He nicknamed her his shy little lamb, and wherever they went, they were always hand in hand. It was time to greet his parents. Natalie was nervous to say the least, because Nate would always refer to his mother as the Beast. She picked out a nice outfit, not to look like a tramp. Something to cover up a large tattoo that was once known as a tramp stamp. Nate kept telling her of a few rules so nothing could go wrong. She needed to remember these rules so she could blend in and belong. But he was eager and bossy, and there was a change in his demeanor. He would just argue that the rules needed to be understood, but he was still acting like a wiener. No crosses or silver, proper underwear, no thong, no lipstick, no earrings, short nails, not long. The color red was okay, but definitely not pink. Perfume was accepted, but nothing that would stink. The list went on to talk about manners and mood, how to be quiet till spoken to, and talking out of turn would be rude. Natalie thought to herself, should I go along with this? Is he really for me? And then she realized he is the love of her life, and how bad could it really be? The day came and she walked up to the Newman's house. He answered and slipped her in as quick and quiet as a mouse. Anxiety also crept in, sweaty palms and a ringing in her ear. Then she heard the mother's voice say, "Come on in, dear." The voice was so powerful and deep and direct. Natalie walked into the living room, took a gulp, and stood erect. "Sit down. Nice to meet you. Let me look and see." The mother's eyes scanned Natalie in detail. "You can call me B." This woman seemed like she was from another era with style. A 1940s dress and apron, and her makeup and eyelashes went for miles. Her hair was done up just right, just so, and she looked so perfect from her head to her toe. Her husband came in and greeted his wife so fine. He looked like a professor who was also lost in time. Suit jacket and tie, wool trousers too. He looked at Natalie and said, "Well, how do you do?" Natalie realized that Nate had an odd style too, but he was in a band, so that's just what they do. His rockabilly punk style was definitely cool and deranged. At present, seeing his family's image now seemed a bit strange. Natalie smiled at them and replied very sweet, "I'm very well, thank you. So when do we eat?" Nate glared at her with his eyes so big. His mother chimed in, "Such a delight, little pig." There was an awkward silence, then a giggle was unmasked. The mother smiled and added, "I'm just kidding, but I'm so glad you asked." She started to pour drinks and said, "But at first let's chat and have some red wine. There will be still a little while until dinner time." A few questions were thrown at Natalie, and she did quite well. She smiled and was polite that no one could tell. She was panicked on the inside, felt like she could just die. So she drank a bit faster, being so nervous and shy. A few glasses later, she asked to use the washroom and excused herself. She felt quite dizzy and almost stumbled into a shelf. Thank goodness no one paid attention as she made it to the room, splashed some water on her face, praying it would all be over soon. "I can't be this drunk. This doesn't seem right," she giggled to herself. "Oh man, it's going to be a long night." A knock at the door. It was Nate checking in. Dinner will be ready soon if you're ready to begin. But he didn't seem to be talking to her, and suddenly she felt frightened. He pushed open the door and grabbed her arm, gripped very tight. She didn't seem to have the strength and could barely fight him off. She couldn't even hardly speak and moved slow like a sloth. She heard clanging and banging, voices muffled, a knife sharpening and furniture being shuffled. Her last vision she could focus on was cookbooks in a neat stack. Man, the other white meat, and how to prepare humans properly, then everything went black. Nate, his mom, his dad, had a delicious shy lamb dinner that night. Poor little Natalie didn't put up much of a fight. Her meat was picked clean off the bones over and underneath. The Newmans sat there very full, rubbing their tummies and picking their teeth. The rules are simple. Crosses are just ugly silver seeps through the skin. Makeup and clothes easy to remove, easy prep, easy to begin. Short nails prevent scratches. The perfume smell burns off in the heat. Unless it's too strong, you can still taste it in the meat. Seasoned and tenderized to the perfect texture and taste. Some boiled in a broth for a later stew, nothing goes to waste. The less stress, the better tasting meat when it comes to humans. This is normal family life when you are the Newmans.